Alright guys, good morning. We're going to start on our English. We're going to start with a review. First of all, a sentence is a group of words that expresses a complete thought. A fragment is a group of words that does not express a complete thought. The part that tells the action and includes the verb is called the predicate. And the part that tells who or what the sentence is about is the subject. Subjects always have a noun or a pronoun. A subject may be one or more words. And so I just want to start with a little review. So let's look at the first sentence. The students listened to an exciting story. The verb in the predicate is listened. So the subject is the students. Listened is an action verb because it's something that I can do. Number two, Mr. Smith feeds the hungry horses. The action word or verb in the predicate is feeds, so the subject is Mr. Smith. Feeds is also an action verb because it's something I can do. He told the story. The action word or verb in the predicate is told. The subject is he. In this sentence, he, your subject, is a pronoun. Told is an action verb because I can do it. The horses are brown. The verb in the predicate is are. The subject is the horses. The word are is a linking verb because the word brown refers back to the horse. It links the two parts together. Brown horse. The frog is green. The verb in the predicate is. So the subject is the frog. Again, is a linking verb because it links the word green back to the frog. That was just a review over sentence parts. Action verbs, linking verbs. Now we're going to go to your skill for the day. Now we've been working on how to write better sentences. And today we're going to work on fixing run-on sentences. And you guys don't really do a lot of this, but sometimes when people write, they just keep putting their thoughts down and they forget to add periods. And so the sentence just seems to go on. And that's when you guys have had to go back and do your editing with the red pens. But let's look at this paper on the board. Your targets for this lesson are: I can identify subject parts and predicate parts in a run-on sentence, and I can change a run-on sentence into two separate sentences. So if we look, when your mom is doing laundry and she washes it, she dries it, she folds it, she takes your socks and she folds them into a ball and they're stuck together. The problem is you couldn't put them on your feet if they were still stuck together. So if you wanted to wear your socks on 2 feet, you would have to unroll them so that you had 2 separate socks. Well, that's kind of what we're doing with run-on sentences. Let's look at the first sentence. The grass was green, the wind was cool. Now, the writer of this sentence has a beginning capital and has an end mark, but the problem is there's more than one thought in this sentence. So let's look and determine how we can correct this sentence. This type of sentence is really called, this type of sentence is really 2 sentences joined just like the 2 socks that are joined when you fold them together. It's called a run-on sentence. A run-on sentence is 2 sentences joined together that should be written as separate sentences. Run-on sentences make it hard for people to understand the message. So what we're going to do is just like with socks. When you want to put them on, you have to separate them. Look at the first sentence. In this part of the sentence, I see a predicate, was green. In this part of the sentence, I see another predicate, was cool. So we can change this to 2 sentences because now I have located a predicate and a subject, and I've located another predicate and another subject. So what I need to do to correct this is make it into two sentences. The grass was green, period. Then I need a capital. The wind was cool, period. All right, let's look at sentence number 2. Mom made lunch, she put cookies in the bag. Well, I have a beginning capital and I have a punctuation mark, but I have two predicates and there's not a conjunction joining them with and, so I'm going to separate this into two sentences. Here, I see a predicate, made lunch, that subject is mom. Here, I see a predicate, put cookies in the bag, so the subject is she. So I need a punctuation mark and a capital letter. My first sentence is mom made lunch, period, capital, she put cookies in the bag. Right? So let's look at the third sentence. The cookies were soft, the lunch was good. Again, I have a beginning capital, I have a punctuation mark, but I have two predicates and they're not joined by and. So that is not one nice long sentence. I need to separate this. The subject is the cookies, the subject is the lunch. I need an end mark and I need a capital letter. The cookies were soft, the lunch was good. At the bottom of the page, we have to look at this run-on sentence and we have to decide which editing is correct. The children played baseball, the day was warm. Well, I see a predicate, played baseball, so this subject is the children, and I see a predicate, was warm, so the subject is the day. So my first sentence needs to be the children played baseball. My second sentence needs to be the day was warm. Well, here, I have a predicate on its own, so that can't be correct. Here, I have the children played baseball, the day was warm. And here I have the children and played baseball, the day was warm. So my correct choice would be here, because this is how I divided my sentence up into two separate sentences. The cat chased the dog, they jumped over the gate. The predicate in the first part is chase the dog, so the subject is the cat. The predicate in the second part is jumped over the gate, so the subject is they. So I need two sentences. The cat chased the dog, they jumped over the gate. And that would be this sentence. Now you're going to do the same thing, lesson 142, on pages 291 and 292. You're going to make run-on sentences into two separate sentences so that we have two clear thoughts.